You remember the case with that guy that we work with that went to the
Yes.
U.S. They found out he has an escort website,
Yes.
so they stopped him at fucking border control.
Yep.
And he had to go to Mexico
Yep.
to get his passport back. So he had to fight from Mexico to get his passport back from the U.S. So I'm just saying, good luck. You want to work with
An
anything in the
American.
U.S. and you have Puta's website, whether it's not in U.S. or not, I don't think they care.
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for they next.
We're back from the water break, by the way. Regarding merchant accounts are like a bank account, something
It's like a funding account that comes from
Yeah.
what you do on your own.
And all the money
How you
that is
sell.
processed via the payment gateway is going to that account. The acquirer who provides this account will take their percentage, their cut, and then send to your real bank account the rest of the money in a settlement. The settlements can be daily, can be weekly, can be monthly, can be bi-weekly. It depends on the terms that you achieve with the acquirer.
And it improves over time.
Yes,
If you have good processing.
If you have almost no chargebacks and almost no issues
And volume
and
goes
good
up nicely. Not a lot
Yeah.
of rejection, rejected transactions. You're not selling abroad too much and stuff like that. The terms always, improves over time. So I really do think it's very basic. Again, it's like a merchant account is a funding account that comes from what you sell.
Yeah.
However you sell it is indifferent. POS, Moto, whatever is the same.
But again, to talk about these merchant accounts, like I said a moment ago, every single acquirer have different rules and different conditions,
Different terms,
and and
different
it's
terms.
very important. It's very important.
Different licenses.
I'm gonna mention one.
Different
when
licenses
acquire.
as well.
Yes, because the regulations are different.
Yeah, but some have,
it-
PayFac, some have the,
Yeah.
what do you call it, acquiring license, some have the fucking bank license.
EMI license or
Yeah,
bank
license.
license.
Yeah. EMI, like Paint has the
SRO
EMI.
license, and in United States they have the Bing sponsorship.
Yeah. But they have it in Europe. Settler has that.
Settler is doing
Yeah.
being a sponsor.
Yeah.
Weird, but the thing is, for example, I'm gonna mention one acquire.
Go for it.
Warline. Warline, yes, they are or they used to be
Massive.
a high risk, friendly acquire and chargeback friendly
Yeah, but if you look
acquire.
at it, they went from a lot of different industries down to none.
Yes.
They slowly just regressed from
But the terms and conditions that they have
amazing. They're unique. Unique and
Yes.
amazing.
But they have a couple of fees hidden in their contract. Do you remember
Yeah. But they also, if you look at the refund fees and the
refund fee
the odd
is very
was
high.
Odd
Yeah.
fee was high too. But
But-
the rolling reserve was amazing. It was
Yes.
unique. Nobody else has it.
No, you can do the same with other acquire we have, but we have never offered it to any merchant.
Didn't know we could.
Yeah. Actually, with two of our acquires,
Didn't know we could.
with the Maltese one and the Bulgarian one, we can do exactly the same.
Interesting.
Yes. So
Anyways.
so the thing is that you gotta read those contracts. Why? Because they're in the contract of the merchant account, the acquirer that the acquirer will send you, you will find a lot of terms and a lot of fees, but some fees might be written in very, very small letter and hidden, basically
Yeah.
hidden. And these terms might not work for your company because even that you're getting charged, let's say 4% or 5%, these special terms can turn this.
No, it's like transaction. It's like the odd fee. If you're like
Yes.
skill-based gambling and you want 15 cents per
Yeah.
odd fee,
You're fucked.
you're going into the percentage.
Yes,
You're not.
precisely.
It's not 0.5 or 0.1. It's like 10, 15%.
It's skill-based gambling, microtransactions.
Very sensitive.
for-
I'd rather take a higher percentage and a lower transaction cost
Yes.
for sure.
The microtransactions for
Yep, yep.
mobile video games, for example.
yep.
These people, they charge $3, €3 per, I don't know, something in the video game. And you say, oh, 5% of €3 is nothing, a few cents. But they are also charging you a fixed price of 20 cents per transaction and a fixed price of $1 per refund if you need to refund.
But also the
So,
decline. If you have a decline,
Also-
then it's all of a sudden 2.
Also, if you get a transaction decline, you can no, you will get charged those 20
Yep.
cents. So let's say you have one sale of €3, one decline. That means
15
that
cents
from
became 30 cents.
30 cents, that is already 10% plus the 5% that they are charging.
Yep. So you're
And
paying
let's
a
say
lot.
you
and
have-
you have rolling reserve.
And yeah, so
Wire fee. Well, the wire fee is smaller because it depends on your.
so
your
you end
complete-
paying like 20%.
And if you have a refund on that transaction,
And if
you
you got
lost
a refund,
lot.
yeah, you're losing money.
Yeah, you are. Or a chargeback. If you get a chargeback, just imagine
Just
that.
imagine a
because a
chargeback.
chargeback is like 4 or 5 times that transaction alone.
Yeah, the chargeback can cost you somewhere from 25 to 50, depending
And that
on.
means that it's like what 400 or 500%
Yes.
that you're losing if you
Yeah,
have one
so,
chargeback.
One of the things that people ask us a lot, actually, I'm surprised, is for microtransactions for video games, for mobile video games. And these microtransactions, sadly, we don't have any solution then.
Yeah, but also content creators are the same. Like
Yes.
the adult content creators ones, because they are small transactions. But it's impossible. It's adult and it's recurring. It's impossible to not give
And-
the rolling reserve. If the rolling reserve, let's say they never get a chargeback in life, even that 0% is impossible. So microtransactions in a high risk business.
Also for the adult content creators like OnlyFans places, they are basically a marketplace. So they basically take 20%.
They have such a small percentage, like-
20% of the money, they keep it, and
And with a rolling
80
reserve 10%.
and 20%,
And they pay
sorry,
all the
80%.
fees, which is the
Yes.
transaction, the
Yes.
percentage, and everything, the MDR, everything is
Yeah.
paid by them. So
Just imagine, you gotta give
they
up.
have to have money to make money.
You give up 80% because you need to pay the models, the content creators. Then you give up.
I don't think they understand how
You give
expensive
up
it actually is to drive that business.
10% for the rolling reserve that you're gonna get back again in
It's
100.
still your money.
It's still your money, and then 4% more or 5% more in MDR, the percentage that the acquirer takes, plus the fixed cost of the transactions. So we're talking about that a business
Plus, it's prone to chargebacks.
is very prone to chargeback. So we're talking about a business that from the 100%, you might end getting only 10% of the money back in 6 months.
Rolling reserve.
When the rolling reserve comes to your account, that's where they win
you're
money.
lucky if the first 6 months you actually drive profit,
Yep.
because your cut is so small and the fees are so high. And the same thing goes for anything that has microtransactions. It's the same. It's very hard, and that's why I always ask people when I did sales is, how's your funding? How does your bank account look?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
without
yeah.
funding, I don't believe in you, and nobody
No.
else will believe in you. It's impossible.
No,
for you
if
to
you don't
drive a
have money
business.
to do marketing, SEO, to
Not only
web
that,
development,
just pay for anything. Like pay for a fucking sandwich while the all the fees are being ate for the first 6 months, because the rolling reserve is your food. That's
Yep.
what comes, and it takes 6 months.
to come. Yeah,
I got one down to 5%,
yeah, I got
and
a
that was
few.
because his back end, not the platform of it, but his whole back end was massive. He had successful businesses, he had a good business plan, he has a strong team with him. Plus, I fought a lot for him. I helped him a lot getting all these things done. And that was the only reason why I could negotiate that down to 5%. I've tried in the past and I've failed almost every time. And again, it comes back to the merchant knowing their risk level, and the merchant to understand that there are players in the market that are greedy, but there are also people that just want to make money, and they've been through this a million times with a million different people that never amounted to shit. Imagine how many people we helped in CBD and how little money we actually made on it. It's beyond, like, it's in comparison to anything. Like, look at adult to CBD.
Yeah.
It's like, poof, CBD is yuk. Even fucking vape is like this.
It's
Like
better
CBDs,
than CBD.
travel was better.
Yeah.
And we only had like 1 or 2 merchants in that over the duration of time. So people need to, again, understand their risk level to understand what is the merchant account going to be for me and how, because everybody wants the best terms and I get it. Honestly, I would wish we could do it, but it's impossible because people also have to know that there's so many bad players, which are merchants in the market that scammed or fucked up a lot of acquirers, and then there's a lot of acquirers that fucked up a lot of good merchants. So the trust is very hard to get, and that's why the payment terms has to be 10%, and that's the standard of a rolling reserve. And the merchant discount rate, the percentage has to be high for a startup, unless you come in with amazing business plan, amazing cash flow forecast, and your bank statement shows the same. Because if you come in and say, hey, in 6 months I'm gonna do 50,000 a month, amazing. But if you have no money in your bank account, I'm not believing you. How are you gonna fund it? Like, how are you gonna fund it?
I'm gonna take this moment to tell those that think that they are going to start a CBD business and they are going to process 100,000 or 50,000 euros every month.
I would love that.
Yes, I'm gonna just let you know that probably the biggest CBD seller in Europe online is not processing 1 million. It's not that big. The competition is so massive that
Yeah, because everybody's fighting for keywords.
yes, no, but my product is unique. Yes, so is theirs.
I saw a guy who went from, I think he did like 1 million euros a year. And
a year. I'm talking about monthly.
Yeah, I know, but he went from that to 250,000 a year in a span of maybe 3 to 5 years
Yep.
because he only had SEO to rely on. That
Yeah,
means
yeah.
that everybody started fighting for the same, like the blog post.
keywords.
He was going blog posts, so yes, of course, the keywords, but he was trying to be good and he was clever with the blog. But the problem was, so was everybody else.
Yeah.
So now you don't have one blog post, you have 17, and outside of that, that means that somebody goes to page 2. And who's going to sit going through fucking 2-3 pages looking for CBD products? I think you're going to find one. If
because
they're good
CBD
reviews, you're going to buy it.
CBD, just as adult, you cannot advertise in Google, nor in Meta, nor in.
Well, adult,
any-
you actually can.
in-
For PPC, yes, you can. We did it.
Of course, but
There's certain ways,
But you can only advertise in adult places.
probably.
Yeah.
But there's massive ones like Pornhub. Pornhub has a massive platform, and I
Yes.
think X Videos has another one. So there are ways, and then there's all these putas for forums and putas website
Yeah.
that also trying to make money on other things, so they sell banner. But again, you have to find really like shady setups to get the traffic,
the thing
and
is
it's
that
hard.
There
Like CBD
are
but there's-
thousands of
but if you look at the
websites
difference
competing.
but if you look at the difference between CBD and adult,
Yeah.
it's easier to find traffic in adult than it is in
Of
CBD.
course, everybody wants
Because
to
CBD is so
jerk off.
new. Yeah, but CBD is also new. So how are you
Well,
gonna
it's not
how are you
new
gonna build
anymore.
like a website of information just about CBD because it's not that big yet?
Yeah.
Porn,
Porn is massive.
of course. Who doesn't watch porn? Like shit.
Yeah, and the thing about the is that there are thousands of merchants of websites competing for the same keyword.
Yeah, but I think any business these days is more or less saturated.
Every
on-
single time Google changed their rules, a bunch of adult websites get fucked.
Yeah, but it's not. We got
us.
fucked. Yeah,
Even us.
precisely. We got fucked twice.
And we are not an adult website, but we offer a payment solution for adult websites. So we got fucked twice.
Yeah, but that's the thing again with each individual merchant going to and depending. That's also why they always want. They're like, I went to these guys and they
Yeah.
offered me 5% rolling reserve. I'm like, good for you, take it.
Go.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't get you that.
No.
But what I can get you is a place where you're never gonna feel unsafe about your business.
Yeah.
Because I always give my opinion. If it's a place that I trust and I believe in or have some kind of positive feedback from, I would say gladly go. If it's someone I know it's negative, I give them my negative comment. I don't care. I'm giving them what I believe in. So
I'm gonna tell you one case. I have a merchant right now that he runs an escort website, and it's taking a while to get him approved because the acquirer is asking for so many things. I think you saw the email, like 11 different points.
Yeah.
And he told me, "Oh, there is an American payment service provider that told me that
Fuck
that they can give me a payment gateway, blah blah blah, with less problems." And in my mind, I just said, escorting is illegal in the United
US,
States. So probably they are doing something illegal.
You remember the case with that guy that we work with that went to the
Yes.
U.S. They found out he has an escort website,
Yes.
so they stopped him at fucking border control.
Yep.
And he had to go to Mexico
Yep.
to get his passport back. So he had to fight from Mexico to get his passport back from the U.S. So I'm just saying, good luck. You want to work
With an
anything in the
American-
U.S. and you have Puta's website, whether it's not in U.S. or not, I don't think they care.
I don't think
Anything with
I
escorting.
don't think that PSP is doing something legal.
No,
To
that's
to
an
provi-
MCC code without
Yes.
escorting. And if that get, just imagine if they get caught, dude. Hoo, 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 hoo. They're going to jail.
They're in the United
That's
States.
not even a
yes.
fine. They're going
No,
to jail because they're violating that.
Yes.
That's a law.
That's the law.
If you're in the U.S. and you want to do escorting or prostitute bullshit, you're fucked.
This guy that we know, he has this escort website in Europe, and he doesn't target the United States. Actually, the website is not accessible from the United States. There are no payment solutions available for
They
the
can't
United
buy.
States.
Yeah.
So the thing is that even like that,
He's not violating
He's
a
not
law,
violating
but it's-
anything in the United
but
States.
The U.S. don't care.
yeah, they stop him.
If there's money in the
passport
U.S.
control.
whew. Yeah, but if the money is in the U.S., he's not getting it back.
Yep. he's fucked.
If that people are in the U.S., they're using, their bank account is in the U.S. and they get caught,
Yeah.
and he getting caught in the crossfire, he's not getting that money.
Also, the case of Pornhub with
I remember
with
Visa and MasterCard.
No, with Visa.
Visa
was.
first, I think they had with MasterCard as well, but yeah,
they lost the processing, and actually,
I don't
there
even know if
were
they have it anymore.
like hundreds, maybe thousands of content creators in Pornhub that they lost their jobs basically.
But I don't think they got it back, did they?
They have a solution back, but I think the solution is not that cheap or is conditioned to something because they weren't able to restore the content creation part that they had.
Pornhub, if you're out there, you know where we are.
So
For all of it. Also, brassers.com.
instead of the bald guy from Brazzers, you are the bald guy from Pasto.
Yeah, precisely. I can
Yeah.
deal with that. No, but I've seen it with certain different things, and the card scheme. Amazon was fighting Visa as well.
Yeah, but Amazon is massive. That's another issue.
Pornhub is massive in the
One of
different
the-
scale, of course.
One of the rules of the card scheme, for example, Visa, says that you cannot have more than 80, 90 chargebacks in 1 month. Just imagine you're Amazon.com and you're selling $1 billion dollars every fucking month. It's impossible not
But it's-
having more than
but it's the
100
same.
chargebacks.
But they also changed the law so many times that I can't find up and down in it anymore. But I remember also, if you look at fucking OnlyFans,
Yeah,
they have more than 10, 15 merchant accounts.
of course.
Adult Friend Finder is massive, and they have also like different situation in different countries and
Adult
different
Friend
regions.
Finder. I remember that their database got hacked and exposed, and they got fucked.
But just imagine that you have to go through so much work, not only to get the best approval rate, but to diversify your portfolio in regards to if you have chargebacks, and maybe you put some more URLs live just to again diversify your risk profile. And it's like, it's so crazy because if you get more than, I think it's 75 chargebacks or something, you start entering this chargeback monitoring program at the
Yes.
card schemes, and then they start looking more thoroughly, and they say within 3 months you have to leave it. But like you said, if you're in a scale, you're doing fucking 1 billion a month, you're not getting under 75 chargebacks.
It's impossible.
As a marketplace, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
So I'm guessing for them, they do it differently, but you're supposed to pay extra for entering it and then they start looking at your ratios, whether it's chargeback,
really
it's
think-
volume, and it's fraud.
I really think Amazon. I really think Amazon got their own licenses.
Yeah, but it's such a shitty backend, man. I don't understand. It's
Yep.
the biggest platform one of the biggest in the world.
The biggest, probably, after
I
Google.
can't believe how ugly and what's a nice word? It's
Obsolete.
ugly, yes.
It
yeah,
looks
it's
old.
obsolete. It is, but even
But
when
it's
we
only the looking.
But even when we went through it with the chat
The
talk
business
to
part.
approve.
Amazon for Business.
Oh yeah, of course. I haven't really used Amazon for.
I have.
I'm not a customer. Really.
I am.
But for the business part, it's so bad.
It's awful.
so-
Yeah, I remember.
It's so.
complicated.
Yes, it is. I can't figure out what is again.
not
I went through it
intuitive.
3-4 times, and then they approved this for the U.S. with a European company, and I want to sell in Europe, and I asked them, and then I tried doing it, and I still couldn't do it. I tried getting approved in I think it was Canada, and then I tried the UK, and I got approved in the UK, but I don't want to sell to the UK. I want to sell to, so I can only imagine, same thing with these content creators. Why some of them are trying to leave OnlyFans is they want to make, I guess they want to make more, and they want to improve the payment terms. But honestly, when you are on those platforms, you're making what you should make, because the amount of work that these platforms put in to building a good platform for you with the payouts and the pay-ins and everything like that, you're where you should be.
I'm going to explain the case of a content creator, an OnlyFans content creator that came to us, and she was making around 50,000 euros every
I
month.
want some of that cash.
Yeah, every month via OnlyFans. But she was annoyed because OnlyFans is was taking
I think they
like
take
20%
20,
commission. So she said, oh my God, then I can make 60K. So 10K more is 10K more if I do my own website. So she created her own website, and then issues started. The bank kicked her out because the bank she had doesn't support any adult content websites. The bank did support receiving money from OnlyFans.com because she's not the owner of that website.
Yeah, precisely.
So that was her first issue. Then she went to find a bank account that was supporting adult content, and she found it very, very expensive. They take like 1.5 to 2% of
Yeah, but this
every
person was in
income.
Europe. Imagine those in Asia. They
Yeah,
have to get in crypto.
those are
how,
fucked.
how are you? So you need card to crypto solution for that in order to get your solution where you take cards from the consumer, but you get paid in crypto because you can't get the money out
Those
otherwise.
solutions are also very
They're
shady
very expensive also.
and shady.
I think the one we know is like 12% minimum.
Yes.
So if you look at that, yeah, okay, the payment terms is better because there's no chargebacks and you get funded almost, I think it's the same day, actually, but 12%.
Well, this person, after 6 months having her own website, expending a
gave up.
shit ton of money in development and everything,
It wasn't worth it.
She, instead of 50,000 that she was making in OnlyFans.com, she started making 25,000, and then she gave up after 6 months and went back to OnlyFans.
But that's also the difference, right?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, her market wasn't only Spain. If it was only Spain, she would have made the same. She would
Yeah.
just have a little more expenses.
I didn't want to mention any detail, but yes.
if her, let's say if she 20% is in Asia, she has 20% in North America, she has 30% because Spanish speaking, is in LATAM, the approval rate is going to go down because of based on your own. Whereas OnlyFans has entities in all over the world, so their approval rate is better. Plus, they're OnlyFans.
And that's the thing that to close the
Merchant account
the
part.
merchant account part. I want to close the merchant account part explaining that if you are from Europe and you get a European merchant account and you try to do cross borders, when I say cross borders, I say outside of Europe, Africa,
And also counts UK. It's
Latin
cross-border.
America, UK, Asia. If you are trying to get payments from there, your approval rates, the successful transaction rates, will go down
And
drastically,
Your chargebacks can even go up.
and your chargebacks will go up.
Depending on where, I don't know with Asia if it's
In
necessarily.
United States, you can do a chargeback like this.
Because the bank will do it for you.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter. But I don't know if it's the same case because we haven't had most of the people we get are either people trying to want a U.S. company, even though they don't live there, selling to Europe, or European company selling to the U.S. but they don't live in the same country as the company.
Yeah. There was the case of another merchant that he was processing quite good volumes from the Netherlands, but 100% of his market was in the United States. 100% of the market in the United States means that as his company is from the Netherlands, he has an European acquirer.
Yep.
That means that instead of 90% or 99% approval rates, he was getting only 60-50,
But his
more or less.
chargebacks was
His chargebacks were massive.
But he was also trying to cut corners.
Yeah, I know.
Which you should
but
never do.
and this guy at the end was breaking one of the Karskin rules in Europe. If you are an European company processing with a European acquirer,
You can 100%
you
sell to-
cannot do 100%
You have to keep
cross
at least
border.
30, I think is.
No, depending on the
I heard it between 10 and 30.
between 10 and 30% of the sales
Because I think
gotta be
maybe it's
inside
10
the European
10
Union.
is minimum, and then it's up to the acquirer to define.
Yes.
Because it's also, I think it's portfolio level
Yes.
for them.
Yes. So that's it. Now we're going to
Water
do a 5 minutes water break. Oh, no, not even 2 minutes. And then we're going to finish with the payment gateway part that personally is the best because that's what we are.
Yeah, that explains a little more. People understand what we do.
Yeah. So water break.
See you soon.